Come on. Why don't you try me?
This is my festive onesie. Like, it's literally a jumpsuit. I was like, I don't have anything Thanksgiving, so I have to. Yeah. Like a thing. And I'm not drinking wine because I'm not feeling well. Oh, well. Oh, yeah. Alex was sick last week. I didn't get it. And then my nephew came over this weekend and was sick that we didn't know. So I cannot escape it. It's fine. It's safe. So I don't know what Bonnie's doing, but we're going to get started in a moment. I am writing down my recipe because I forgot to do it before that. Oh my God. Okay, see? Making fun of me for writing stuff down. I had to write it down. Well, this puppy chow thing is totally out of my element. So have any of you heard of puppy chow? We polled our folks and then they were like, that Yummy Tricks Nick's puppy chow. I'm like, I don't know what that is. Bonni found a recipe and we're going to make it. So now you're going to learn what puppy chow is. Christmas puppy chow. My kids used to make it when they were in Girl Scout years. Oh, really? Okay. I've never heard of it. I practiced this the other day and the 4-year-old twins tried to get involved and it was just a mess. So we're going to do it without the twins today. That's funny. Well, we're going to start with the pie first because that takes the longest to make. Yeah. So do you want to, when we get started? Yeah, if you're ready, go ahead because this will take me a minute. But, okay. And I'm going to put my potatoes on so that when you're done, we can make your mashed potatoes at some point, but those will take a minute anyway. Okay. So this is a better version of pumpkin pie. We love pumpkin pie. My brother-in-law last year was mad that nobody made pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving. So the first thing I do is I take out a gluten-free crust and I put it out so that I can defrost. And then I put the oven on 375. Hey, do you guys hear a reverb when I'm talking? It's because we have the microphone in our ear. Oh, perfect. Okay. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is get 3 eggs. I love this because it's super simple. You just mix everything all together. And it's delicious. For my folks that, are missing sugar, we're going to put maple syrup in there. It's going to be good. So 3 eggs. And then a can of pumpkin. Oh my gosh. So I tried to roast my own pumpkin, but I clearly didn't get a pumpkin that was ripe enough. So that did not. Yeah, I was like, oh, I mean, it still was good to eat, like on its own, but not for a pie. Just wasn't ripe enough for that. So we're going to put a can of pumpkins. This is organic, and the can has no BPA. Oh, look, on that stuff. Okay, let's put that in here. Pumpkin. Okay. Then we're going to put a lot of pumpkin spice. So but you can adjust that. I put 5 teaspoons because I really like it and I think it adds all the flavor. So we're not missing all the sugar and all that jazz. Actually, I think I'm going to finish this one. So put that in there. You can add more cinnamon and whatnot if you like. And then 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. Real maple syrup, not what is it? Maple flavored corn syrup, which I was raised on, by the way. So, no judgment there. Oh, I'm totally going to judge. No, but I mean, we grew up with the real maple syrup the grandma made. So it's increased. Yeah. I judge my husband too. It's not. Okay, what? Oh, yeah. One thing you never go back. Put a teaspoon of salt. And then the last thing is this. I think this is the easiest thing to make is coconut cream and not sweetened. We're going to put 3/4 of a cup in there. Pop that, baby. Yum. I love coconut cream. I love coconut milk, kind of coconut everything, really. I like everything except the flakes. Oh, okay. I could do that. Yeah, the flakes are the things that I'm like, no. I'm okay without the flakes. So then mix this all together. And then we're going to put it in our gluten-free crust that's been defrosting. So mix this baby good. I want to make sure the egg and all that are good in here. So do you guys who likes pumpkin pie? Yeah, Lindsay? No? I know. It's so funny. I'm part of a women's networking group, and most people were like, I could just leave it. I'm like, what? It's just for Thanksgiving without pumpkin pie. Oh, it's totally Thanksgiving without pumpkin pie. And how about oh yeah, we have requests for that too. Apple pie is funny. Yeah. Oh, pour this sucker in here. I know. Request for that. And I think someone in my family was like, please bring that. They said, yeah, right. Yeah. And I'm sure my boyfriend will just bring one already made. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the oven for an hour. That's why I thought I'd put this on first, because it's going to take the longest. Hey, yeah. Question about the gluten-free crust. I need a message in here.
What like that?
Did you keep yourself? I did not.
For a sister way, okay. Make her for once. I just purchased.
So I got this one at Sprout. Go ahead. Let me see if I have the container. No, I threw that away. And it is made from rice flour and coconut flour and a couple other things. And I made a pie with it last year, and it's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, yummy. I mean, I would like to make my own, but
The first year I was gluten-free, I did that, but it was fine. I didn't create. It was so thin, but it was definitely hard work. So
yeah. Yeah, and I didn't hate any of the ingredients, so I was like, okay, I can use this. So yeah, so check it, Sprouts. Oh, and let me put the timer on now that I'm chatting. Okay, so that is our pumpkin pie. Pretty easy, right? For the folks that like pumpkin pie. Awesome. Okay. So Bonni, what are you working on over there? I am cutting up my potatoes. And what I usually do is I rinse them. I always use red potatoes for the mashed potato recipe. I rinse them and then I put them in the pot. It helps with some of the digestive issues. And if you are somebody that does have digestive issues, there's something called resistant starch that if you bake your potatoes, cook your potatoes, even the way that I'm doing it, the whole boil in the pot method, and then you let them sit overnight, rinse them, and then reheat them, you've eliminated the resistant starch.
Hey guys, Bonni here. I'm interrupting for just 1 second. I just said something about resistant starch, and I wanted to explain this to you because I know there's a lot of marketing out, or at least coming out now, about resistant starch. I'm really happy people are explaining and talking about this, but why am I telling you to cook it, rinse it, and that will minimize the response that your body has to resistant starch? Did you hear that it was good for you? Well, it actually is. It is. However, it can be very irritating to sensitive stomachs. So here's what resistant starch is. Resistant starch is long chains of glucose, okay? They are found in grains, they're found in potatoes, they're found in starchy foods. So effectively what happens is typically when it's cooked and you eat it, it is metabolized and digested within the small intestine, which means it can escape the small intestine in some cases. This can cause some irritation. Now, resistant starch, once you cook something and cool it and then reheat it, actually can help with insulin resistance, okay? It can help your body metabolize and actually create a more balanced metabolization process, so your blood glucose levels stay balanced, they stay healthy. They're not spiking like you would normally have when you eat potatoes or simple starches without anything else to them, okay? And that's all well and good, but the reason I'm suggesting to rinse a lot of that away, is because in some cases it can be very irritating. So if you are somebody who eats potatoes, pasta, and your stomach really doesn't like it, then what I do suggest is make your potatoes, make your starchy food, rinse it, cool it. If it's severe, rinse it again and then reheat it, okay? That will at least diminish the irritation to resistant starch. It'll still be there, it will still give you the benefits, but it won't be as potent and intense. All right, let's get back to it, shall we?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and that's one of the inflammatory trigger, or not inflammatory triggers so much, just it's uncomfortable for some people.
Yeah. Are you leaving the skins on?
I am. I love mashed potatoes with the skins on.
Me too. Me too.
My favorite way. Like, all the nutrients are in the skin, you guys.
It's funny. My mom, when they were young, they would eat a lot of baked potatoes as Italians. I don't know why. And my mom would always eat the potato skins. And so, of course, my grandmother was like completely freaked out by it. And she called the pediatrician, who was like, actually, all the nutrients are there, so it's okay if she eats them. Like, they serve potato skins at restaurants. Now, obviously, that's not a healthy version, but I'm like, you can eat them. It's just funny. My grandmother was like, what is she eating?
Yeah, this is Brian's favorite holiday dish or special dish. And he won't eat regular mashed potatoes anymore, which is brilliant.
Yeah, that actually is good.
So, not necessarily that it's the healthiest out there, but, you know, when you're having mashed potatoes and you can't eat the regular mashed potatoes, it's a great replacement. People that want dairy-free can't tell the difference, which is the biggest draw for it.
Yeah.
I actually use my pasta pot for potatoes.
You just pull the pot out. Okay, so I don't have a pasta pot. Every time we do something and I'm like, I think I have all the gadgets, and then Bonni shows me one more thing that I'm like, okay, I clearly need this.
So, to be fair, I worked at a kitchen store for a long time, so I flew with a lot of gadgets.
Okay, I guess. That's so funny.
I came home with a lot of gadgets. The pot is because of Brian. The Instapot is because of Brian. And the funniest story about the Instapot is the only thing that man has made in the Instapot is rice. But he originally bought it so he could prep meals, and so that he could take those meals and basically flip them around and like freeze some, take some to work.
Oh,
But like all he had to do was put it all in the Instapot and then, you know, plate and move on.
yeah.
No, he's made rice.
Well, he should have just got a rice cooker. Anyway, I don't have an Instapot. Another thing added to the list that I do not have, but I don't know if I need one. I feel like I'm okay with it without it.
Yeah. I mean, I use it all the time when I'm in a crunch with the boys, but now that they're a little bit older, I don't use it as much. I will say this, it's the only way I can make risotto.
Oh, okay.
I can't make risotto on the stovetops. I don't know why. There's certain foods, like rice is one of them. I need a rice maker to make rice well.
Yeah.
I can't make rice and can barely make the like pasta.
Yeah.
So
okay, I'm just looking at the comments and make sure that we're not missing it. Oh yeah, apple pie. That is so funny.
okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is funny. A glorified crock pot, which I actually love my crock pot. I just made something in it yesterday. I was like, I don't feel good. Dinner. Here we go. Pop it in there. See, I'm all for the gadgets.
Do you know that I did not realize? So the Instapot has a crock pot setting. And I've used it as a crock pot, and I've always complained about the fact that like it's steam, right? So like it doesn't evaporate. So if you're looking for like a spaghetti sauce to thicken up or anything like that. Like, it doesn't do that. I mean, no, I told myself I wasn't going to call myself an idiot again, but this was definitely one of those, like, blonde moments. There's a little vent on the top that when you use the crock pot setting, you're supposed to have the vent open, not closed.
Oh, this already sounds too complicated.
Getting it into that. I was like, oh. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
I wish I was having a glass of wine with you, but I'll just settle for my tea.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta just have the tea. I have not had wine in a very long time, about weeks.
Oh,
Well, I'd
see,
probably
longer than that.
Probably longer than that. Okay, so your pie is in the oven. Potatoes are on. Do you want to do your stuffing or do you want to do the puppy chow?
Oh, why don't you do the puppy chow and then we'll do my stuffing? Does that
Okay.
work? Okay. If you have it ready, if not, I have all the stuff for this.
It's all out. I just have to move the camera.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to move mine too when I get to the thing.
That's really the only thing is I have to move the camera. I actually got real checks for this. I do heavily recommend using a different kind of cereal, but I was a little worried that the recipe in and of itself was like specific.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like I kind of felt like, okay, if it's like this, then, you know, we'll put you guys right there so you can see everything I'm doing. But yeah, normally you do not see GM or Kellogg's in our house, just so you know. But it was definitely one of those times where I was like, I kind of don't know what I'm doing, so I should probably not stray too far from the recipe. Because when you look for checks in the organic, there's like multiple different versions that you can use.
I get it. When you're trying some of those things that are replacements, like if you don't know what it tastes like, this could be like a pile of mush.
Right. That was my biggest concern is it would end up a pile of mush and we wouldn't be able to see what it's supposed to taste like.
Yeah.
And that's big for me. Like I want to know what it tastes like. All right, let's
and then you can tweak it from there once you know what it's supposed to taste like.
Exactly. So like one of the things that I'm always telling people is you want to make sure that what you do is there we go. Oh, that's going to be so much better. You guys will be able to see in the pot with this one.
Oh. This is so funny.
I know, right?
I'm so psyched. I'm telling you, we just need to be on a movie set with like tags, people. So years ago, when I was 21, 2 weeks after my 21st birthday, I moved to New York City to be an actor. And so it's just so funny that would like I always envisioned like all of that, and I'm like, oh, actually, yeah. And there's you got to kind of do it all on your own. It's so funny. I love it. Technical difficulties. Hey, I'm not recruiting my kid to do any of it for me though. 11-year-old, like it's so funny. He wanted to make some like clips and videos for me, but artistic differences was like really funny. I'm like, oh, hon, we can't use that. We cannot do that. Sorry. I'm gonna cut up some herbs and stuff for. I'm gonna compare. There you go. I'm just chopping up some onions while you do that for our stuffing. You know what's going on, stuffing. Right, does anyone's eyes tear when they cut onions, or is it just me? Yes, so you want to avoid cutting the very end. And rinsing. What do I need to do?
Avoid cutting the very end of it, like the very bottom of it, until the very last second. And put the end. Oh, that's funny. Well, and I'm not the best chopper. Okay, so I am making, oh my gosh, a gluten-free stuffing. I call it stuffing. So they sell gluten-free stuffing in package. Oh my gosh, my eyes. But this is, I'm going to make this with rice.
So I make it with brown rice. Oh my gosh, I have to step away. So onion for a second. I make it with brown rice or wild rice. I couldn't find any wild rice. I don't know what was up with that, but could not find it. So, oh my gosh, my eyes. I should have pre-cut these is what I should have done. Ooh. Okay. So, onion cut. Oh, let's just step away from that for 1 second. So in this, it's actually pretty simple. So I cut up the onions. I'm going to cut up a bunch of fresh parsley, because I love that, and fresh sage. I love sage. I love the smell of it. Love, love, love. So I'm going to cut that up. I love fresh herbs from that. Now, I don't super chop these. So step away from my cutting board. That's so frank. Okay. So now I'm going to get rid of this cutting board. It's just too much. So I have my cut up herbs. I have cut up onions. So I went and got some brown rice cooked ahead of time. Like I said, I couldn't find wild rice. Like, I don't know what was up with that, but I couldn't find it. So whatever. So now I'm going to take you, let's make sure I have everything. So it's very simple. There's onion, salt, rice, cranberries, pecans, and squash. So I use acorn squash. So I just cut the acorn squash in half, put a little salt, pepper, and olive oil, and roasted it earlier today because that process can take forever. Like that took like 35, 45 minutes. So that took a little bit of time. So I was like, I don't want you to wait for that. So, and what's great is you can prep some of this stuff ahead of time. So I'm going to move you over here. So you can all see. I love this. So it's funny around the holidays, people complain, my lovely family, of like, oh, what's she making? Oh, is this healthy? Oh, like, it's really good and a crowd pleaser is all I can. People don't complain, or they're like, what healthy dish did she bring? Right. And then when they taste it, they realize how good it is. Yeah. So we're going to put some olive oil in this pan. I'm just going to go like this so you guys can see what I'm doing. Put this in there, and we're going to heat that up, and we're going to soften these deadly onions. Yeah, my goodness. It's funny. Sometimes I don't tear up at all, and other things. I cannot keep my eyes open. So we're going to let these cook up a little bit. Just it's a little translucent. I usually like to put a little salt and pepper on there when I do that. So I have this measured out. So put a little salt and a little pepper. We have the fancy, I don't really love it, automatic grinder. I can grind my own, but I'm not sure we got those. And I'm going to double check on our pie. Oh, it's a good thing, girl. Okay. Yeah, if you like pie, that looks so good. So let this heat up for a few. And like I said, I have my acorn squash. There's also cranberries and toasted pecans. I toasted those up ahead of time as well, just because it's just easier, but that's super simple to do. Just put on the stove on a pan, and just let it toast up for a few minutes. You really don't need anything else. And actually, We did a book event last week, and I did some toasted almonds on as a little snack on the stove, and it's just maple syrup, cinnamon, and the almonds you just put on the stove top. They're super, super easy to make. So, yes. People loved it. Love it too. I mean, yes, there's maple syrup, so yes, it is sugar, but it's, it's the holidays and it's a lot better than refined sugar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone around here loved it. Like there's only 2 adults here who ate it, and I didn't get any of it. I got that day, and that was it.
Girl, that's funny. Hey, get it while you can, because everyone's going to eat it. Oh, I love it. Love it. Righty. So, this is good. Give this another minute, and then I'll show you how simple this is to put it all together. And like I said, people really do like it, even if you don't call it stuffing. Just for making a yummy rice and squash dish. So, yum.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's so good. Oh my gosh.
So, these smell amazing. And my eyes aren't tearing anymore. That should be one of our bloopers. Just tears just like streaming down my face.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
It's so funny.
We need to pull together the bloopers because there's a couple that like every time I see it when I edit, I'm like, oh my gosh, yes.
This one.
I haven't know, but that's what we gotta do it.
Let's see. Someone said, can you do that with nut?
With any nuts.
Yeah. With any nut. Yeah.
I think with pecans and walnuts.
Yes. I would think you could. It's really good. And it's so easy. Yeah.
It's easy. It's quick. It really didn't take very much time. And I think I almost overcooked it.
Yeah.
That can happen when I made it. But I mean, it was delicious enough that it was gone. He did tell me, he's like, you should put dried fruit in this. And it's like,
No,
like the
next batch
is
to
to
make.
do that.
I know. But hey, at least you got him to eat the nuts. Okay. All right. So now with this, I'm going to put in the rice. So this is brown rice I made ahead of time. It really is yummy with wild rice if you can find it and it looks good. No, something about it. So this is a cup. Just mix it in. I give it like a minute or two to mix flavors and get warmed up. It's so funny. I don't eat as much rice as I used to. When I first started my health journey, I ate a lot of rice, a lot of brown rice. Love it. I don't know. Just didn't need to eat a ton of it. Okay. So now add rice. So now some squash. So this is 1 teaspoon squash. This is where the little tricky mix it, but we'll totally work it. So I'll here with my favorite to stop. And none of them going to use cranberries. And B is just love. I actually love the taste. In Granger thought it was Bob. Frank. All this.
As a kid, it wasn't something I enjoyed. I found out I liked the fresh. And so Liz is asking, she's allergic to rice. Can quinoa be an alternative?
Yeah, that's done everyone.
So I'll
Probably a little bit lower one and infusion, but like here, with is it just a river? Okay, so this is your circle. Almost in. But I put it up. Now, if you did the acorn squash at a time, and we could like haul it out and just a little bit mix or that baking squash, it would really good. Wow. I did not look at that. Here's what it looked. Then I had thing. Oh, nine. So yeah, I feel experiment or quinoa will let us know how it was. Yeah. That looks delicious. You know, it's really looking. Oh, it's all right. Yeah, we better not burn those potatoes. Brian's gonna be mad. We'll say that again. I said Brian's gonna be mad if like the potatoes are like mushy or like or no. We'll eat it anyway. Oh man. Oh man. Oh.
So we are going to make this caramel sauce. We're going to make the caramel sauce first because it has to be dairy-free. So the caramel sauce is dairy-free butter, brown sugar, maple syrup, which is kind of funny, you guys, because brown sugar is just sugar with maple syrup on it. That's all it is. So when you make caramel, you need that melted flavor. So we're going to melt the butter. We're going to put the maple syrup in and a couple drops of lemon juice. And we're going to see where that is first. Now, this is my preferred butter.
I was going to ask you that. Thank you.
Here's why. Earth's Best smells like fish when it melts. And it's weird. It's just weird. Like, nobody wants fishy smelling butter. This is made with oat milk, cashew and coconut. This one's cashew and coconut. The container, the spreadable container, is oat milk.
Okay.
And the person, Miyoko, who created this, actually has dairy issues. So when she created it, she wanted something that you could eat that tasted like butter, that didn't smell like fish. It's kind of funny she mentioned that. And that wasn't horrible for you. And I mean, that's part of the issue with a lot of these is that the dairy-free stuff is packed full of so many chemicals. It's hard to find. So we need a third cup. And here's the other thing I love. It has the measurements.
Nice.
So it's just like a stick of butter. As you can see, it is not yellow, but it melts just like regular butter. We're going to put this on low so we don't burn it because caramel burnt is horrible.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Now, to make the Chex Mix, what we need to do is we need to mix the caramel and the white chocolate. So we're going to make our caramel, and then we're going to mix in our applesauce and the white chocolate because this is the Apple Pie Puppy Chow.
Oh.
The flavors are cinnamon, apple, and this white chocolate. And the kids were all excited because I got these little containers of applesauce, which I never buy, but it's the perfect serving size for this.
They're getting treats too.
They are getting treats too.
That's awesome.
That juicer has been like a godsend, I'm telling you, because they now want just a fresh juice versus any store-bought one. So as you can see, it melts just like regular butter. But there's not really a scientific experiment here. It's really just cashew and coconut oil. We also mix in a little bit of coconut milk. That was the thing I didn't see up there. I don't know how I missed that part of it. I could not find the Thai version, which is the one I prefer.
Oh, what's the difference?
One is just from the source more. It's just more organic. This is the Simple Truth, so it's the Kroger organic line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot of confidence in it. Let me just put it that way. So,
Oh, that's funny. I just looked at mine. I'm like, I have the Thai kitchen
Yeah,
coconut
so
cream.
there's one that they put out that is organic, unsweetened, all that good stuff, right? But
Yeah.
it's almost like it comes directly from Asian markets or Asian countries.
Huh.
Yeah. And it's not very expensive, but I can't seem to find it out here. So it's that whole moving to Austin thing. Get me back to a city that has all the international people.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to use our cheer.
Oh, cute.
I got these for the boys 2 years ago to make cookies and stuff with, and I think last year was the first year they actually made the cookies with me. All right, so we need to melt that all the way down, and then we're going to add the maple syrup. We'll add a little bit of the coconut cream. I am going to add brown sugar to it because you want that caramel flavor, and that's where the maple syrup and the brown sugar come into play. For the record, I shot to make this as healthy as possible, but it's a dessert. So
Yeah.
it's healthier than your normal recipe,
Mm-hmm.
but don't eat this in one sitting.
Which I've done many times.
Hmm.
Never had puppy chow, but I mean, there are many things I've overeaten. So, what happens when
Yeah,
you eat too much sugar?
you and I have talked about, like, I found the white chocolate chips, you guys, and oh my gosh. All right, so this calls for 3 tablespoons of maple syrup,
Yum.
and Kerri knows I'm not a good measurer, you guys. I'm trying, but that's not really my forte.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right, so the maple syrup is going to give you some of that brown flavor, and what you're looking for with this dairy-free is not just the brown flavor, brown color. You're also looking for the flavor, that caramel flavor, and
Yum.
that's where you want to add in the brown sugar and the coconut milk. And you don't want a lot of coconut milk. This one I will measure because I want to make sure we're not putting too much in. So you want nice, soft brown sugar, 1/4 cup, and I think that is basically all I have left in this, which is not bad. All right. So once that is all melted, once that sugar is melted into the coconut oil, woohoo, melted into that butter, and what else? Oh, maple syrup. Hello. Then you're going to put in your coconut cream, a little bit of lemon juice, and then now we're going to add in the white chocolate to melt that down and mix all these flavors together.
Ooh, white chocolate, my favorite part.
Mm-hmm. And they've only made this white chocolate for 2 years. Up until that point, those of us who were dairy-free could not get white chocolate. It was
Yeah,
kind
I
of
had no
sad.
idea there was even dairy-free white chocolate until you told me.
There is now, and only one company makes it, Enjoy.
Hmm.
So what you're looking for from this is no graininess. You want to keep it on low, and it's not going to thicken up the way that you normally would see it until we add in the chocolate. Unfortunately, the thing with coconut or with dairy-free caramel is it doesn't really thicken up the way you normally would see it. You can add cornstarch, you can thicken it up that way, but we're not going to do that today because what we're trying to do is coat. We're trying to coat it. We're trying to coat the Chex Mix without making it too mushy. And once we coat it, then we're going to shake it also with sugar and cinnamon. And I got the cinnamon Chex, so I love the flavor of cinnamon.
Me too.
So I went for it. All right, so we've got a little bit longer. It takes a minute. This is one you really need a lot of patience with.
Ah, it's worth it. It's worth it.
So worth it. So worth
Checking my
it.
pie.
I'm excited for this.
And I'm snacking on my stuffing while you do that.
Yum. I think that's the best part about us swapping out the way that we do. So for you guys listening and watching, this is how we actually cook when no one else is watching too. This is how we record our episodes. One of us is always eating and the other one is cooking, and it actually is a really delicious experience.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So this, we got some thickening going on. Whoop, whoop. All right. And the potatoes are almost done. Do you know the way that you can tell a potato is done?
Stick a fork in it?
That's one way. It floats.
Okay.
It floats. When it starts
Oh.
floating in your water, they're done. All right. So here's how you can tell your caramel is done. Once it sits, it's gonna set for a while. So you see how dark it is in there? Ooh. There you go. You see how dark it is in there?
I was like, what's she pouring it into? A bowl?
I'm not.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Don't waste the caramel.
Yeah,
So as it sits, it's gonna thicken. But we don't want to do that. We actually want to add our white chocolate into this, as well as our applesauce. And I'm gonna measure the white chocolate so I don't pour the whole thing in there, which is really, really, really tempting, I have to tell you. Okay, 6 ounces of chocolate chips.
Oh.
We're gonna go with a third cup. We'll measure a third cup. We'll melt that down.
Yum.
And then we want a splash of coconut milk. It's 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons, something like that. And then literally you're going to sit and do the same thing you just did. And you're going to let it all melt and mix together. Keep that temperature very, very low. And once it's all mixed together,
Yum.
then I'm
So
going to
what
add.
does the applesauce do?
It's just flavor.
Oh, okay.
Gives you the apple flavor. All right, and one thing I forgot to do, lemons.
Oh, nice.
You want just a spridge of lemon. It just keeps it from coagulating. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
It's one of the dangers of having dairy-free chocolates is that they like to coagulate versus mixing together, which is kind of gross.
Yeah. It's like, ooh.
Yeah, no.
The bad part about this is I can't taste that, but I'll have to make some on my own.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to put some more chocolate chip in here.
How did I know you were going to do that?
Probably because you know I can't resist these chocolate chips.
I was like, I just don't think that's enough chocolate. I mean, for consistency, not because we're just adding more chocolate.
Sure.
That's what we're going with.
I didn't even think about it. I could have used my double broiler on this.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think about that. It's okay. I can't do so when you're making this on a electric stove. You kind of can't do everything I'm doing right now. Like I don't know if you can tell, it's thickening up.
Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, we only have electric here. You have to specifically, God, Kerri, to get gas and whatnot in your house down here. I guess I could have it wired, but I just miss at
It's
home everything was gas.
Yeah, I have a friend in Arizona who wants to try and switch it because they're all gas, and she wants to switch it to electric because it
Oh.
gets so hot where she is.
Oh, okay. All right.
And um, it's like a $15,000 job where she's at. And she's like, I'm just gonna buy an immersion, or not an immersion, but one of those what are they called? Induction. The induction
Oh,
stoves.
okay.
Okay, you guys. So here you go. We're gonna see if I can do this without spilling it on the countertop before I put the applesauce in. So you see where we're at. It's a little bit more like liquid caramel now.
Yum.
All right. So the applesauce just blends in its flavor. That's really all it is. Plus, you get a little bit of fruit in there.
Sneak it in.
And there's no sugar in these. I don't buy any of the ones with the added sugar, even the fake sugar. It's
Mm-hmm.
just apples, and that's it. All right. So, yep, that's it. Now, it definitely thinned it out, which is probably going to be a good thing. I'm gonna thicken up just a little bit before we put any Chex Mix on there, because basically what we have to do at this point is mix the Chex Mix with this and the powdered sugar and the cinnamon.
Oh, I didn't know there was powdered sugar on there.
Yeah, they're supposed to be.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm gonna, yeah, I have powdered sugar. I got it for this, but
yeah, I don't think they have a great substitute for that either. I mean, there's ones made of xylitol, which okay, but was it good?
it's delicious. And you can
Mm,
totally taste the apple, which was the point of putting the
yeah.
applesauce in. So, yay. Hmm. We might have to put more
Hmm.
chocolate in.
You guys
We're gonna
heard
put,
that, right? She said more chocolate. Mhm.
we're just gonna empty the whole thing in.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I mean, it might be best.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just gonna do it.
That's so funny.
Go get them.
Yes. Where'd you get those at?
I had to go to Sprouts.
Okay, that's
Normally
what I
you can
thought.
get it from Sprouts or Whole Foods. The grocery store will carry it. Like the regular grocery store nowadays, they have Enjoy. But the minute the white chocolate goes on the shelf in a regular grocery store, it's gone. It's still too new. It's kind of one of those things like when Ben and Jerry's first came out with non-dairy ice cream,
Oh,
I had it almost every night because it had been so long since I hadn't had Ben and Jerry's, and
yeah,
this is
yeah.
the
That I could
same.
see.
And they don't start making the white chocolate, or at least putting it on the shelves, until October.
Oh,
I'm sure eventually it'll be like a regular staple, but I think they're still trying to do that. And maybe this year will be different. Maybe it'll just stay on the shelves this year. One can hope.
maybe if they see people enjoy it, I don't know.
Hmm. It sells out so fast from the regular grocery store. I can't imagine. Can't imagine they wouldn't, you know?
Yeah.
But marketing's so funny. Everybody does it so differently. All right. That definitely thickened it up a little bit. That's why I
Huh.
put it in there.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hmm. Hey, but the positive is you don't have any more white chocolate chips at the house that can be snacked on.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
hmm.
And when the boys get off school, we're gonna have a little dessert in the car. And then that's probably gonna be about it. I'll send the rest with Brian to work. All those salespeople, they need the sugar, right? They don't.
No.
Reality, they don't. But if
And
I
they're all
send it,
caffeined up.
yep. If I send it with him to work, he doesn't need it. And that also means that I don't need it and the boys don't need it, so we can have a nice little dessert without without a lot. You know, you have just enough. All right. We're going to turn this off. Let it sit for a second while we get the rest of it pulled together. And I'm just going to bring everything over here since it's all set up.
Yum. This reminds me of like that, like, remember like Rice Krispie treats that you would just like melt whatever
Yes.
and then you would put the Rice Krispies in?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so that's basically what we're going to do. So we have our bowl, and it calls for 3 cups of Chex.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So let's see what 3 cups of Chex looks like. Ooh. That's 2.
Oh.
3. Okay. That's what, here. All right. Move my kid's drawing.
Aw.
Okay. So it's supposed to be shaken.
Oh.
Well,
That's interesting.
yeah. We're not going to shake it. I'm just going to pour this over it. Let's look. It is mix 1. Yep. Okay. So we mix the liquid and then we sprinkle with powdered sugar and cinnamon. Where is my cinnamon? There we go. There's also cinnamon on here. All right. Let's see, people. Oh, this is totally Rice Krispies.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what I was thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we never made ours with white chocolate, but
Here, there we go. You guys can see. It's totally Rice Krispie.
so now do you let it just like cool off somewhere?
It says to put the powdered sugar and the cinnamon on it, and then yes, you let it cool off. So I actually have my cookie sheet here, and I'm going to put parchment on it and then let it spread out. Because, I mean, this has to taste like candy, you know? I can't imagine it tastes anything but like candy.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the powdered sugar, because there is a cup of powdered sugar on this. Oh
my gosh.
I'm pretty sure the powdered sugar is to give you something to grab so that you're not grabbing the caramel.
Oh, like dry it up a little bit or something?
Yeah, yeah.
Huh.
I'm going to add, you know what? We're not going to eat these. Because there's extra in here.
Oh, you mean like extra caramel? So you gotta like soak it up?
I don't know if you have to. I'm pretty sure the recipe is so that you have that candy coating in between, but
Okay.
I don't want the candy coating in between. I want delicious, fun, and then move on. Oh, that's so much better. Yeah. That's more what I was looking for. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. We're going to do the powdered sugar, you guys.
She's doing it. That's so funny.
That's exactly what it is.
So when I looked up the recipe, I was seeing that it had like a white coating on it, and I assumed it was from the chocolate, but yeah, you're right. I think it's from that.
It's from the powdered sugar. All right, I am going to, because there's a couple of different ways that I saw that you could do it, and right now this is just being soaked up. So we are going to spread this out and let it cool, crunch up, and then we're going to shake it with this.
Oh, okay.
Because I saw it done a couple of different ways, and that was one suggestion. You know, a funny story though, I could not find a dairy-free puppy chow recipe anywhere.
Well, now you have to put yours out there.
Yeah. So I was actually kind of happy. I don't know who suggested that to us, but it was definitely.
Yeah. It was Bonni.
Ah.
Yeah. So
Well,
we have to
I
send
will
her a
have to.
picture. Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to put it this way so you can see it. And basically, I'm just going to put it all out here. We're going to spread it out and let it crunch up, do its thing.
That looks really good.
It does. It smells amazing. I am thinking this is definitely something like if you wanted to really make it super healthy. I mean, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it is what it
Super
is.
healthy.
But
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
for what it is, if you wanted to make it super healthy, you could totally put cranberries in this. You could put apple pieces in this. All
You
right,
know I'm all
here we
about
go.
the cranberries.
Me too. Yeah, you could totally put nuts and dried fruit in this and make it a little bit healthier than what it is. Hold on.
Try it, yes.
Oh, that's dangerous. Oh my gosh. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, you're gonna have to put some of that away. That's going to with Brian to work like quick.
Oh my
So
gosh.
funny.
That is good. All right, I'm gonna set this aside and let it cool.
Okay.
The potatoes are actually done.
Oh, okay. What do you mix? You show us what you're mixing it with?
Yeah. I'm gonna take
Yum.
you. Actually, this is a good position for this, so we're just gonna keep it going. But I'm gonna pull this to the side. Um,
This pie's almost done too, which I'll show you guys what it looks like in a moment.
Cool. I love
Yeah,
this
it's so
because I
yummy.
have a glass bowl that
Yes.
this fits perfectly in. All right. So you don't necessarily need coconut milk, but it's kind of cool that we have the coconut milk.
Yeah.
All right. So here's what I do. Do not get rid of the pasta water, you guys. There's a little trick for that, especially if you don't have coconut milk on hand.
So basically, I need a pasta bowl.
Now, if you have a vegetable steamer or like you just scoop out the potatoes or strain it and have something underneath of it to catch some of the water, because when you're making this dairy-free, it's like pasta water. You can use the potato water instead of the coconut milk.
Okay.
Which is what I normally do. I normally don't worry about. I don't usually worry about trying to get coconut milk in for the potatoes. I don't stress about that. So the very first thing, we definitely want to mash them. One of the things I wanted to also mention is a lot of times what I'll do, so let's say you want to make garlic potatoes.
Yes,
garlic mashed
please.
potatoes. Put your garlic cloves whole into the pot and cook them with the potatoes, because when you mash them up like this, they get mashed up too.
Yum. Ooh, that looks good already.
Potatoes always look good for me. I'm a huge potato fan.
That's funny.
I have so much stickiness in my hand right now.
Puppy chow hand.
This is one container. This isn't that much. If I'm going to make a recipe for like to serve at Thanksgiving or something like that, usually what I do is I make enough that I can fit in that big bowl that I used. So you're looking at 5 large potatoes. And with 5 large potatoes, you want half the container. With this, you just want a quarter.
What is that? The butter? The gluten-free butter?
This is cream cheese.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Yeah, there we go. That's the cream cheese.
Okay.
Um, Instead of sour cream, anything like that, the cream cheese just kind of gives it a little tanginess, gets it that creamy. The part that Brian usually loves is the Miyokos and then Kite Hill. That's my other favorite for this. They have um, cream cheese with chive.
Ooh.
It's delicious. It's absolutely delicious. If you do eat dairy, you can actually do this with um, regular dairy cream cheese. Mm, 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 mm. And I just include the vegetables in there, the chive and the garlic,
Yeah.
as like a, just special treat. I wanted to make this easy for everybody. So as you can see, it gets moist, right? But we need it. This is definitely like dry mashed
Yeah.
potatoes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where, I don't know what I did with, there it is. There's my knife. So you want about a quarter cup of butter, and you're going to start here. Put that in.
Yum.
And what you want to do, cover it so that the butter melts. It just makes it easier to mix up. You shouldn't need any more cream cheese after that. The cream cheese is really to give it some flavor, to give it something more than just the potato flavor. Salt. And you can do this while you're waiting for the butter to melt. Pepper. For those of you in Maryland or from Maryland, I have totally made this with Old Bay. It is
Ooh.
delicious. And before anyone goes, oh, I can make it with Zaxby's. You probably could. I won't. I don't like the Cajun part. It's an ongoing thing in our house. Brian wants the Cajun. I want the Old Bay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. Yum.
All right. So we're gonna leave that for just 1 second because the butter has not melted all the way yet. It's kind of one of those things with the dairy-free is you definitely want the butter to melt because this is not melting butter like a dairy butter would melt. It takes a little
Yeah.
bit more heat, but like a slower heat. You don't want to turn it up. You don't want to um, try to make it too high too fast, if that makes sense. You want to keep that
Yeah.
intensity low.
I like it's so funny. I would never try a dairy-free butter, but since you like it and the way you're showing me to use it, I will actually
Mhm.
try that.
Yeah, it's really good. Like, and I know there's people in our world that are like, no, you just, boil it out. Well, yeah, you could, but there's those of us that actually doesn't work in or
Yeah,
doesn't
the
work
ghee.
with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and it's just a crappy part of life. It is what it is.
But there
Um,
are alternatives.
exactly. And these alternatives are getting better and better. And really what's happened is the people who make these, like Miyoko's, they decided this is crap and I don't want to eat this. All right. So you've got creaminess now, right?
Ooh, yum.
But it could be a little creamier. That's where either the potato water or the coconut milk comes in. You don't want to put too
Mm.
much in too fast. Um, so, and the coconut water, because there's no heat in it, it's going to cool this down. The potato water is going to keep it hot. So we're going to do coconut milk just because it's a little thicker than the potato water. And if
Mm.
you're ever making this and not serving it till the next day, make it really thin
Oh.
because it thickens up very, very quickly. And as you can see, you don't need a lot.
Yeah.
You want to literally put 2 tablespoons in at a time because there you go.
Ooh, that looks good. I'm gonna take this out of the oven. It's how long this pie takes, but it's good.
Hey, good stuff takes a long time, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll let that cool for a second, and then I will show you guys this. Woo! Yum.
Okay. So that's basically it. It's going to get just as creamy if you use the potato water versus the coconut. It doesn't
Yeah.
change the flavor.
It looks like regular old mashed potatoes. It doesn't look like there's,
Yeah.
anything else going on in there.
Nope. And that's what it tastes like.
Yum.
Hmm. You really can't taste the cream cheese. Like the cream cheese gives it that tangy sour cream flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And the coconut milk gives it a little bit more creaminess. But like I said, you can just use the potato water. You don't
Yeah.
need to go buy something extra for a couple of tablespoons.
Yeah. But if you
Um,
have it, you can use it.
yeah, and I've tried, for those of you asking, I have tried to use oat milk, almond milk. I've tried all of those. Coconut milk from a can or the potato water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else, it changes the flavor. And you
Yeah, I
want
could
your
see that.
potatoes. Yeah, you want your potatoes to taste like freaking mashed potatoes,
You're
man.
like, you're gonna have them, or else don't bother. Okay, let me show you
Yeah.
guys this. Ready? Oh, I wonder if I'm gonna have to show it to you on here because you know how pumpkin pie gets like.
Oh my
Yum! Oh,
gosh.
it's gonna fall off the thing. Ah! But
That's
looks
so
like
cool.
pumpkin pie, tastes like pumpkin pie. Let this thing cool, except it doesn't have, a ton of sugar, but it has a lot of flavor. Because of the what's the word I'm looking for? Pumpkin pie spice, maple syrup. You can add cinnamon, you can add whatever else to it, but I love it this way.
That's
So,
awesome.
yum.
All right.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. I hope that you enjoyed cooking with us today.
And remember, it is all about experimenting and having a blast in the kitchen.
Yes. And speaking of fun and having a blast, do not miss our next episode because we are always cooking up something exciting for you.
Whether you're a seasoned chef, just starting out, or you want a few new ideas, there's always something new to discover. So keep your aprons handy and your taste buds ready and your wine glass half full.
Mm-hmm. And until then, keep cooking, keep experimenting, and having fun in the kitchen.
See you next time. Stay healthy, happy cooking, and cheers!
Cheers!